this is basically going to be the most important probably for the people out there that are new to the subject and just generally need information. Because when I found out that I had a thyroid issue, I didn't know where to start. I didn't know what the medication meant, where to begin, what dosage, like how would it impact me. I mean, everything was basically followed by a question mark. So honestly, I'm going to be discussing synthroid and cytomel and maybe a little bit of other medications. I don't really know them, so I don't really want to go talk about them. I mean, honestly, when it comes to thyroxine, there's going to be synthetic versions. I mean, as opposed to synthetic, there's going to be organic. I mean, Armor, the pill Armor is organic. Um, I'm pretty sure it's 80-20 as far as 80% T4 and 20% T3. Um, I don't really know too much about it because I've never taken it. I've never really had to look it up, and my doctor was really adamantly opposed against it. So I never really got to experience that. The main reason why he said no was that um, cytomel and the synthroid are homogeneous, meaning that it's it's consistent throughout the whole pill. It's purposely consistent. Whether you take half or a whole, um, how do I say this? It's going to be the same throughout. Okay, so if you're taking 44, you're getting 44. Okay, so it's not going to be, most of the concentration is going to be lumped into a corner of the pill. The whole pill is spread out, and you're going to be getting your fair share. If you break a piece off, that's going to be the piece that you get. Okay, now one thing that actually just popped into my head that would really benefit you guys is a basic math problem. And this helps me because sometimes I have to break my medication apart and I have to do the math. Okay, so I went on Amazon and I bought this little scale. It's out to the third decimal place, I'm sorry. The scientific scales are the only ones that go out to the fourth. Okay, so I'm going to turn it on and you're going to get a little peek at it. And, you know, it shows you 3 decimal places. Okay, so in knowing that the more decimal places out, it's gonna be more sensitive. Scientific scales are expensive. They probably range from about $500 to $1,000. You can probably get one used and a little cheaper on eBay or something like that, but I mean that's up to you. I mean down the line I'll probably invest in one, but that's enough for me. That's $20. I mean that extra decimal point throws $500 to $1,000 on the price tag. So I mean it's up to you as far as if you can live without it or not. I can. Alright, so knowing that, I have to break my pills up sometimes, my synthroid, and weigh it. Okay? So I'm going to write down the math problem for you, just so you can get a feel for what I'm talking about. Because if you need to break it up, it kind of just came to me one day, and I'm taking an 88 synthroid right now, and some people wouldn't really know how to get to this if I'm not going to show you. Alright, so this is basically a proportion problem that you probably learned in like 3rd grade, but the 88 right there on there is the 88 micrograms for the pill. The X is the number you want to find out for, well, first of all, write that down. It's X over 88 equals Y over 130. Okay, so in knowing that X is the little piece of pill that you broke off the whole, and you want to find out how much or potency is in that little chunk that you broke off. So say you broke off a little chunk off of the synthroid pill. Okay, so after you did that, the weight is 130, which I found on my scale. I weighed it, and it came out to be 130, and that's one pill, and that's average 130. Some are lower, some are higher, but it's an average of 130. I did like 10 or 20 pills, and I just took an average, and it was 130. So, in knowing that, you just cross multiply. So you know, find out the weight or vice versa, and you know, you plug in the one information you have. It's either X or Y, and you solve for the other one. Okay? So in knowing that, go out there and do what you have to do. I felt like that would be important to some people. You know, if you want to find, you know, the weight of a little chunk, solve for Y. If you want to solve for you know, the potency of a little chunk, solve for X. Okay? So in knowing that, let me get back to my page here. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about as far as you know, the important part is to know that it is homogeneous, and the fact that I mentioned in the other you know, video I made is that I crush it up in a mortar and pestle. The way I can get away with that is because it is homogeneous, and my doctor said that was basically the reason why he wanted me to stick on synthroid, and I can't argue with it. It was a good reason. I mean, experience did dictate the fact that he was right later on, but I didn't realize that until later on. You know, in the beginning you're desperate. You're just throwing information at your doctors, and they probably go through that all the time. And I probably feel bad for them a little bit, but not too bad. But he was right. And that's the way I can get away with those little scoops that you saw in the previous video. Those little scoops actually allow me to do that because it's consistent every time. It's the same dosage I'm getting every time because the pill's consistent. Okay? So they're both, you know, homogeneous or homogeneous, however you pronounce it. And, you know, like I said, the other one's 80-20. I'm pretty sure synthroid's 100% T4. Not really sure. I'm pretty sure it is. But it's, you know, it's a synthetic version of thyroxine, which is levothyroxine, and you know, it's a synthetic form, like I said, and cytomel is a synthetic version of liothyronine or thyrionine, and you know, if you watch that one video I showed you, he describes it perfectly. It's the handwritten thyroid video, and he breaks everything down. It's got to be straight out of a medical school book, but he says it perfectly. He writes you through the whole process. I mean, I've taken organic chemistry, you know, many times, and you know, I love the class, and it just shows you every time, and it tells you why it's named like diodo as a prefix, diiodo. And it's great. I mean, he really does a great job. Just type in handwritten and then thyroid afterwards, and he'll teach you, but whatever. All right, so like I said, you know, get a mortar and pestle if you need to crush it up, or get the scale if you need to weigh it. All right, get the milligram scoops. I bought them on Amazon, or the mortar and pestle I bought on Amazon. Okay, and then file it down to what you need. Like I said in the previous video, synthroid goes from 25 to 300. That's the potency level, the microgram level of each pill, and each one has a different color coordination to signify the denomination of, you know, the microgram level within the pill. So the doctor will tell you what you need, but honestly, go by what you feel. If it's not enough, tell him. Yell at him. Who cares? I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, you have to live the rest of your life in your body, so screw them. I mean, they are there to help, but I mean, some doctors really will fight you. Honestly, you need to experiment a little bit. You know, I'm glad I got some of the doctors I did. So, you know, just go in there with an open mind. They are right sometimes. Sometimes. But get the pill capsules. You can get 1,000 at a time. I bought them on Amazon too. They were like 1,000 at a time. They're made out of beef gelatin, I think. And let me see what else. Yeah, so like I said, my cytomel is 5 micrograms. They go up to 25 maybe. You know, I even heard that they go down to 1 microgram, and I thought that's the prescription I got, but when I got the you know, the bottle, it was 5. So I'm not really sure if it even exists. I did talk to the pharmacist, and he did say there is a 1 microgram pill out there, but I don't know. It's up to you whether or not you want to pursue that course, but go out there and, try to find it. But I mean, you have to be careful with your meds. I mean, if you go up a lot, try to undershoot to bring, your level back down. That's what just happened to me. My dosage shot from 88 to like 240 because I had a few cigarettes. And in doing so, I'm undershooting every day. I'm keeping my dosage low, so my body starts making a little bit more, and it kind of gets back down. But I think it might have been a temporary problem to begin with because it only lasted like a week or two. But like I said in the other video, you might want to combine cytomel and synthroid. The books say that in the trials, it actually did have a lot of positive outcomes. Like a big percentage actually benefited from the mixture of both. And I can say as a walking billboard or a testament to that fact that it really does work. So get out there and talk to your doctor. If he's willing to actually give you the cytomel, then take it. Because honestly, it was helpful. Okay. Like I said, I've seen a lot of doctors over the years. I mean, 25 doctors I've had direct contact with at least. I mean, granted, some were in different fields, but most of them were endocrinologists. Okay, so in the end, you probably want to stick with an endocrinologist. I mean, my GP personally, he did help me a lot, but that's probably going to be rare. Most people aren't. You know, it did take a lot for him to help me, but he did in the end. The cytomel, just getting the prescription for the cytomel was a battle in itself. So, I mean, you really have to go out there and strive for what you need. Go out there and try it. They're going to be reluctant to give you the cytomel because the T4, once it's in your body, it's converted into T3, which is what the cytomel is to begin with. So they're going to be a little hesitant. You have to be prepared for that. But honestly, it does make a difference. And start low. Always start low. Don't go above. Honestly, I know I feel better once I'm hyper, but start low and work your way up unless you can't. Like with my milligram scoop, I have to start hyper and then work my way down to, getting into the right level. But if you can, start low because it's better for everything. Being hyper is not really good. Most people would think it would be. If I take more of this pill, I'll feel better. That's not how it works with the thyroid. I've tried it. I've been so desperate. I just popped one, just out of aggravation and desperation, and it did a lot of harm. I just felt crappy. I had like a momentary like euphoria, but I mean it faded, and then I just felt like crap. So don't do that. Don't do it. Don't do it. But everything else, I mean, is pretty much in the other videos. That's pretty much all I wanted to say. But I mean, like I said in the other video, if you want to get off smoking, go to my website. It's www.myvipes.com, myvipes.com, and we sell vaporizers and e-juice. Any purchase is well appreciated. But yeah, go check us out. We want to take off, in business, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. I want to help people. I want to get people off cigarettes because honestly, that's what got me sick, and that's what got me into like societal observation, looking into society and just money in general. And I'm gonna have a lot of upcoming videos that discuss society and things of that nature because I've always had an interest in it, and I always will. But I mean, as far as just general rants, and when it comes to certain documentaries on Netflix, they have gold on Netflix. You need to go on there and just watch the documentaries. There is such good knowledge there. You need to go and just watch and watch and watch and watch. I mean, literally, like I said in the other book, go pick up a book, do something. It's like you have your health most likely. If you're watching this video, you probably don't. But go out there and go learn something. I can't stress that enough. I'll always be envious of the fact that people have their health, but someone's got to be the sick one, right? Relativity. But thanks for coming. I love you guys. I'll see you soon.